What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Prediction Market Pulse. So, quick video today. Not much news in Prediction Market land, being Christmas week, but the biggest story today is this Zelensky Trump meeting, which insiders actually broke before the mainstream news did today, which is pretty funny. Odds spiked up overnight. We'll talk about that. We have some news on this Stranger Things Polymarket, which is one of the biggest contested ones right now. Who's going to die in the series? Insider news around that. Then we've got a couple fun markets to cover. This Logan Paul Pikachu Pokemon card collector Polymarket. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the lighter one as usual. Lighter's TGE is supposedly going to be the 29th, so it's coming up, and this is one of the biggest markets also in Polymarket, 44 million in volume. This is one I've been swing trading for a while, so pretty fun one. So let's start with the biggest news, this Trump-Zelensky meeting. So up until last night, Christmas night, odds were basically zero. But then all of a sudden, someone spiked it up to, this doesn't actually show it, but it was essentially 40%. And then it ranged a lot today, and then went up another percent on a big announcement. And then now it's almost 100% confirmed, just about whether the meeting actually happens. So all the mainstream news broke it today, and then Zelensky put out his own report earlier, which was, I think, this spike. But pretty crazy. What happened was that these wallets started accumulating a huge amount. As you can see here, it actually spiked to the 40%. Sometimes Polymarket doesn't show the full jump, but these wallets were brand new, started accumulating, and they put out, like, I think they bought like 40,000 or something. Then it ranged a lot, and then people were speculating whether it was fake insiders, real insiders, and this actual news report came out overnight around 4 a.m., spiked up to 50%. So pretty crazy story. No one in the news was covering this before the actual news broke. So the Polymarket insiders front ran the news again, which is crazy for a big story like the Zelensky one. And this also has obviously some big potential in other Ukraine-Russia war markets, and just in terms of the war in general. So pretty cool to see prediction markets actually front-running major news stories. Second biggest market right now is this that people are talking about, is the Stranger Things one. So Stranger Things is a Netflix show. There's some insiders actually on both sides. I've been investigating some of these wallets, which is why I don't think that it's a guarantee of what's going to happen here, because there's actually sketchy wallets bidding for and against this character. This guy talks a little bit about one of them, and there's a lot of reports on Twitter about newly created accounts doing this. There's actually like 3 or 4 that I found that I was looking at. But the funny part is that some of them are bidding against and for this character in this one. So I don't think there's much to be seen there. As this guy says, like, the one guy's a gambler because they trace him back to a meme coin wallet on Solana. So I don't think there's much to learn here, but just a word of warning: if you're looking at insider wallets, you have to be careful betting on them, because sometimes they are just literally gamblers. And then a couple more interesting market updates. There's this Logan Paul Pikachu one, very cool market if you're into Pokemon. Almost guaranteed it's going to be around 7 million. It just depends if the market actually happens and the auction actually happens. So I think it was I think he for sure got like a 2.5 million bid on it. And then there's a speculation that's like a 7.5 million one. But also the Pokemon market is kind of going down, so we'll see what happens with this, because this is mid-January. I think it's January 12th or something. Maybe not. Maybe the Taipei one. There's a climbing one that I thought was January 12th. But interesting market. If you're into Pokemon cards, go look at that. And the last one that I like is this lighter market. This has been something I've been swing trading a lot since it, not since it was created, but a long time. Maybe since mid-November. Lighter is supposed to TGE before the end of the year. So the current estimated day, according to Polymarket, is 29th. But you never know with these airdrops. A lot of times they do get pushed back. Even if they want this to happen in this day, sometimes they have technical issues. The only reason I don't think this will get pushed back is because the team's been doing a lot of moving tokens around and a bunch of exchange dealings so far. Like Mexi had an announcement. Bybit, I think, had an announcement. So there's a lot of different dealings. I don't think they're going to push it back. And from what these wallets are bidding, seems like it's going to be the 29th, but you just never know with these. That's why people started bidding this one. Funny enough, the 30th one actually was a better return. So after people decided it was the 29th, people then started, I think, speculating that it might get delayed a day, which is not the worst thing to speculate on, because a lot of times these crypto projects do delay at least a day. And so 20 or 30th actually went like, it was like around like 4 or 5%. Now it's at 23%, so about a 4x, so pretty good actually. And also the volatility in these are crazy. So if you're looking for swing trades, like you'll go to a week or even a day, honestly, you don't even need. This was a Polymarket glitch. The order books were not appearing, so this actually is not real, but this part is real, I'm pretty sure. So this dipped a lot and then came back. So pretty fun market to trade. So there's a lot of interesting markets. Things kind of slowed down a bit as the new year is coming up, and mid-December till now has been a little more slow than normal in Polymarket, but there's still a ton of fun markets to trade. And so those are the ones I'm looking at. If you are looking at any, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode.